Okay, and we are live on OBS, which is connected to Discord. So I don't know what we're live on. Anyways,
Yep. Oh bullshit. That's what we're on.
welcome to another Cool Beans episode. This is episode two. Actually, this is episode one, really, on the main like 2022 timeline. Um,
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
still
Yep.
I'm still gonna I'm still gonna like release the ones from 2020. But I guess this is our first. Maybe I should have titled it differently. Because if you go to YouTube, what I like about YouTube is you can change the titles. So maybe I'll do like the Lost Episodes 01. And then
You know
maybe
what? That's not a bad idea. I
that's
like
not
that.
right. And then for
No.
like
Good.
because even when like let's say like on a day like today when like we had our third member wasn't here but me and you are here. If all three of us weren't here, I would still have a podcast that we did, so I would be able to release it, but at least people can be like, "Oh, this isn't a new podcast. This is one of the old Lost episodes." So yeah, you know what? That works. That works. That fucking works for me. God damn it! All right.
We're recording.
Yes, we are officially recording as
Okay.
of
Good. I'm
now.
glad everybody knows who heard that or is gonna know our plan now.
For sure. For sure. They'll be cool. I mean, everybody's got a. I
Well,
think
they're gonna be in on it now. It's almost like it's an exclusive thing for everybody.
absolutely, absolutely. You know what? We should have some like. I wonder if we should have like recordings where we just swear, like the ones where like remember we talked about how like only our fans. We'll do it behind a paywall. We're like on fucking once we get
Oh,
more.
the Patreon and all that stuff,
Yeah,
tiers and all
yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah.
They
Because
can hear everything.
obviously there's certain topics that we just can't talk about. Like if we just I don't know if we talk about self deleting, yourself. Like
Yeah.
we might
Yeah.
have
Or chicks with dicks. That's a big one.
something like that. Like we could
Yeah.
have that where it's like, hey, this video's too controversial for YouTube.
Yeah.
Um,
There's a lot of wings flying around in this topic we're talking about.
yeah, I can see. Oh my God, I can see he's on there. The third member of our podcast is on my Facebook, but he's not replying, dude. I don't know what else to do. It's instant message unless he gets like a lot of messages and he's just not seeing me. I don't know. All right, well I'll deal with that later. Anyways, so you were asking me if I saw the Saints Row, the one with
No, the Saints of Newark. Yeah,
Saints Row. What the fuck did I just
that,
mention?
that's the video game. That's the
Video
video game, which is also good.
Grand Theft
It's
Auto
very good.
GTA. So
For
yes, I
Xbox.
have
Yeah,
I have played GTA video game, and yes, I have watched the one with that was his kid, right?
yeah, yeah.
His
His kid,
biological child.
Michael Gandolfini. Yeah.
Okay. So
Which they gave him a really, I'm not gonna say shitty part, but they gave him like I thought he was gonna be the main guy, kind of they're following around. Like I know they were following his uncle,
mhm.
right? But then they were like, I thought they were going to show more of like how Tony developed. But I mean, he's still like a really, really young kid in this movie.
Well, it was disappointing to me because like I don't know if they were the rumors. I guess they were the rumors, but I thought the idea was that they were gonna show it was gonna be like The Sopranos, an entire series of him from going from being a civilian, just a regular dude, kid, to when he joined the mob. You know, just like Christopher. Remember Christopher when like, because he was always a soldier, but like there was that ceremony where Tony's like, hey, where Christopher was telling his girl, he's like, hey, I think it's time. I
He's,
think they asked me to
he's
wear
gonna
a
be
nice
made.
suit. Right, where he was really
Yep.
gonna be made, and then they had him like, they did the ceremony and shit. I thought that's what it was gonna be, where like they took him like from just being a regular kid to like, okay, no, I want to join the mob, and then he joins. I thought that's what it was gonna be. You know.
Yeah, because it was almost kind of like a Goodfellas thing, right? Like that's how I thought it was gonna come out. But and I liked it, but I just wish they kind of did more of I don't know, talked about Tony. But it was a pretty good movie, and from what I heard, I think they're gonna make something out of that, like a sequel from that.
Oh, are
So
they?
maybe yeah. So maybe that's the next part. Maybe that's the next part of the movie. What they're thinking,
You think
use his
maybe
son for
you think maybe it was like a trial run then?
could be. All I know is that his kid's gonna have to shave off his fucking head though. Gonna have to look bald, going
Sure.
bald or some shit.
Or at least just the middle part.
Yeah,
It's gonna be even more stupid because he's just gonna have to like keep the
right.
side hair. Yeah.
Gonna have like look like George Costanza at like 19 years old. How shitty is that?
I mean, shit. You gotta do it for the movie. Well, because I got the feeling, because you know how they do things in Hollywood. Honestly, it felt like maybe they were like, "What is it gonna make money?" So maybe it was like a trial run, and we were gonna see like, okay, if this makes money, then yeah, then we commit to like making a series. It feels like.
I mean, from what I remember, I thought it was pretty successful, wasn't it?
No, I mean, I'm not saying it wasn't, but I'm saying is that why they didn't go full blown? Let's just start from the beginning, making episodes just like The Sopranos. You know,
Hmm.
because it was just a
Yeah,
movie, right? It was more like a movie, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So I wonder. I don't know.
It,
But
it definitely made me hate. What's his name? Junior. Oh my god, man!
even
I hate
more.
that motherfucker anymore. Like, the fucking coward, man. All because he fucking laughed at him slipping and falling, and he's gonna fucking kill him over that.
It was stupid as
Like,
fuck, right?
yeah, Italians for you. I don't know.
Joey Diaz was in it, and he's like Cuban. For the longest time, they didn't let him do like Italian movies because they always,
He was he in the movie or the show?
yeah,
Which one? He was in both.
no, he was in, I mean, here's the thing, you know, Pussy, Little Pussy, Malalanka,
Yeah,
whatever the
yeah.
hell. Joey Diaz was supposed to be in The Sopranos, but that actor in particular said like, no, he can't be in The Sopranos because he's not Italian.
Okay.
So apparently they feel differently now because he was. I mean, in the show, I think he was saying like how like, hey, us Northern Italians are different than those Southern Sicilian fucks. They're practically N words. Remember that part?
Yeah, yeah.
And then Joey Diaz comes in his role, and he's like, I'm from Sicily. Do you remember that part?
I don't remember that part, but that makes sense.
Yeah, that's so I wonder if they did that because he's like, well,
Okay,
we'll let you
that's
in.
pretty fucked up.
We'll
Yeah,
let
that's pretty fucked up. Yeah,
we'll let you do we'll let you do um
a scene or
a
something. Yeah.
scene, but you gotta be an Italian from Sicily. That way we differentiate you
Hmm.
from the rest of us.
The
I
shit you got to
wonder.
do.
I
Honestly,
wonder.
if they told me the same thing for a movie, and they're like, "All right, Alex, you're gonna have to play like, there's Mexican, and then there's like middle class Mexican, and there's poor Mexican, and then there's like dirt poor Mexican. You're gonna have to play the dirt poor Mexican,
I'll do you one
and you're
better.
gonna get, and you're
If
gonna what
what if they're
what?
like, you're gonna be a Hell's Angel biker, so we need you to act white.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I don't even get to be Mexican. No, you're gonna be white.
Yeah,
That's what you're gonna
and you're gonna be like all the way in the back, so no one's gonna even be able to tell if you're in the show or not. So
be.
when you tell your friends, "Hey, I'm in that Hell's Angels movie," they're gonna be like, "No, you're not. I don't see you in there."
We're gonna have you say racist shit to your Mexican compadres as a
Yeah,
white guy.
well, I mean, I guess, but that's where I was like where it was all coming down to. How much are you willing to do that for? So I was willing to play the dirt poor Mexican for how much you got? 350? I'll do it for 350.
Well, what pisses
Oh,
me off is like motherfuckers like, especially Italians, dude. It's like you're so against like someone like Joey Diaz who's Cuban playing an Italian, but yet the biggest, most famous movie of all time, Scarface, was played by what? A fucking Italian. What fucking Al Pacino? Are you seriously trying to convince me that he's Cuban? The motherfucker was Italian. Did you notice how no like Cuban people had a problem with that? Except I mean the only problem that we had was what the accent. I think where people was like, it doesn't really stick.
really? I didn't even have a problem with that. I bought the whole fucking thing. I
No,
thought Cubans were like that.
nah, dude, it was a stupid accent. Like it wasn't because he wasn't trying. He was trying. Like he did. You can tell he was like really like certain inflections. But if you talk to a real Cuban, he's like, nah, dude, it's just a white dude trying to trying to
I
speak
retire, man.
everything. It
Because that's where I picked up my accent too, man. I tried talking like Tony Montana, how he would do it, and now you're telling me that this
I
accent's even wrong. That's
I
fucked up.
I thought the same thing because like if you don't hang around Cubans, like you look at that and you're like, man, this guy's a great actor. But then like you start making Cuban
it's like
friends, and they're like, no, bro, I'm Cuban.
it's
I'm
like looking at a portal in another world. He's just like them.
You know who's really good though, and I need to look up if he's because I think he might be white. I don't think he's actually. Mexican. But you know who did a really good job? I should look that up before I say shit. But
Oh,
did you watch Better Call Saul?
yeah.
Okay, Lalo, is Lalo actually Mexican? Because if he's white, I know he's been in like Mexican programming, like or Spanish programmings, like
Uh-huh.
movies and shit. But like, god damn it, that motherfucker talks exactly like my uncle from Mexico, who's involved in like possible cartel shit.
Oh, so you're asking if he's actually
Like,
like Mexican?
I'm asking if he's a white guy playing the role of a Mexican cartel guy because he did a really great job. Is what I'm saying.
Uh,
Let me look it up.
well, I'm
Lalo.
looking right now, and it is saying
Is he Puerto Rican?
that
Is he white? Is he Italian?
well, his name is Lalo Salamanca.
Yeah, that's his character. But what's like his actor name?
Uh, oh shit.
Here, let me look up actor
Portrayed.
names.
Oh, Tony Dalton. That's his fucking name.
See,
Right.
he's definitely got to be white. See, that's what's
That's
impressive. Let me see.
right.
Tony
Fooled
Dalton.
me. Fooled Google.
Tony Dalton. Race.
I don't know.
Mexican
Mexican and
American.
American.
Oh
There you
shit.
go.
Okay, well
Look at you.
you don't
Nah,
get
nah. Look at you.
you don't
Look
get that
at
much
you,
credit. You don't get
Tony
it.
Dalton.
Yeah, I'm
And
like,
you're gonna get mad at this guy. You're right away. You heard the name Tony Dalton. He's like, oh no, he can't be Mexican. Look
well,
at you,
I mean Dalton is kind of,
bro.
is that really like common? You know what I mean? If his name was like Sanchez Rodriguez, I'd be like, okay, so he's Mexican. Not to mention like he doesn't get that much credit anymore because I'm like, well, shit, I thought you were. But that doesn't, you know what? That doesn't mean
But
anything though either, cause fucking
but dude, his look at his real name.
Louis.
Are you looking at his real name?
Oh shit, you know what? I
His
just,
fucking first name is Alvaro. Right?
well,
That's as Mexican as you can get.
it's tricky though, cause Louis C.K. is Jewish, right? But he was a Jewish person born in Mexico, so he's not Mexican the way like me and you are, where we have Aztec, like indigenous
Mm-hmm.
heritage. But
Yeah.
like you can say you're like I can move to Japan, right, and become a Japanese citizen, but it doesn't mean I'm Asian. You know what I mean? So that's why I was like, I
Well,
wonder.
well, can you call yourself Japanese though?
Yeah, I mean you legally have to, like if you have legal status and you're a
And
resident.
I wouldn't see if you moved to Japan and then you did all that and then you came back and you're like, and we were somewhere, we meet up somewhere and they're like, hey, yeah, I'm Mexican, and then my friend Danny, he's also
Oh,
Mexican, and you're like, no, I'm Japanese. They're like, no, the fuck, you're not.
oh no
You're
no, I wouldn't
mixing
say
stuff
like
up.
no, I misunderstood. I wouldn't say like that. I mean, I would say like yes, I'm a Japanese citizen. But in terms of if they were asking me like what my ethnicity is, like what my race
Very
is,
pretentious.
I would
Yeah,
be like, no, I'm a Mexican. I'm a Mexican who is a resident of Japan. I guess is how you would say it.
you're a Japexan.
Japexan, but I'm definitely not Japanese. Yeah, for sure. Well,
All
fucking
right.
like that. That was my favorite part of that. My favorite character in Better Call Saul was fucking Lalo. That shit was
Hmm.
so good. It's just he's such a psychopath, dude. Like he's always smiling and shit. And
Yeah, kind of reminds me of that one guy from oh shit. He's from Grand Theft Auto 5. He plays like the psycho in that. He's also a good psycho in this other fucking show, The Walking Dead, I think he was in. And he has like this look to him.
yeah.
Where yeah, it looks like he kind of looks like this guy. I actually thought we were looking at the same talking about the same guy. Um Let me look up his name real quick. But have you played Grand Theft Auto 5? Anything like that before?
I played GTA, like early GTA, but then I kind of stopped the later games. So no,
Okay.
I didn't play five. No, I think I stopped at like three.
3, man. That was on PlayStation 2
Yeah,
days?
dude, it's been a while,
Fuck,
man.
that was good. That was a really fucking good game.
Which one was
Like
Saints
that blew
Row?
all our fucking minds. That was for Xbox.
But like, which one was it? Like, which number was Saints
Saints
Row?
Row. Well, they think there's a few of them, man. There's a few Saints Row games. Like
Let's see. GTA. Uh,
Christina's like a big like Saints Row fan. Like she loves that fucking game.
Okay, Grand Theft Auto London, Grand Theft Auto London, Grand Theft Auto Vice City, San Andreas, chronological order.
Yeah, I'm
Continue.
not entirely sure whatever the guy's name, but anyways, that's who he looks like. And
God
people want to
damn it.
find out, they can
There's
figure
a
out themselves.
lot, dude. Holy shit. San Andreas. Oh, you know what? I played San Andreas a little bit.
I'm gonna say, yeah. I mean, I played all of them. The one that people keep, if I do talk about video games, people bring up Grand Theft Auto 5 to me still,
Did I?
if I play it, and I'm like, I don't. I'm like, I thought that shit was done with. Like I didn't know
Did I mess up the
people were still
title?
playing it.
I said Saints
For
Row,
what?
but is there was there such a thing as Saints Row?
A video game?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the titles and I don't see anything.
Yeah, dude. Saints Row. It's the game.
I don't see it on here. Saints Row.
Saints Row. Yeah, man. I mean it's
Was that number five, six, seven?
there is five of them I think now. Yeah, but
Dude, that's just
they're
how.
just they're
That's
what
like there's
time?
so many, dude. Like right now,
Yeah,
I don't. It says 17. There were 17 of them. Are you serious? Holy
that's no
sh!
way. There ain't 17 of them.
I'll read them off right now. It says let's see, every GTA in order:
Oh,
GTA,
GTA. Okay.
GTA 2, GTA 3, GTA Vice City, Double Pack, San Andreas, Advance, Liberty City Stories, Trilogy, Vice City Stories. Okay, so there's different variations, I guess. Uh, Liberty City, Chinatown Wars, GTA 5, GTA Online. Okay, there's just different. I don't know. I'm out of the loop, dude. I really can't speak on GTA anymore because I mean,
Well,
shit.
you really don't like video games anymore, though, do you? Like.
No, I do. The thing is, like, but nowadays I play very minimal. Like, you know what? Like, I'm still playing Breath of the Wild just because that's such an amazing fucking game. Like, I don't know if you've ever played Zelda.
No. Mm-mm.
So yeah,
I've never played it.
I'm playing Breath of the Wild. And I can't wait for Breath of the Wild 2. I think it comes out next year. I forget what month though. But I still played Pokemon. I'm still a sucker for anytime there's a new Pokemon I play it. I played fucking the one that was based off of England,
Yeah.
Sword and Shield.
Okay.
I played Monster Hunter. When Monster Hunter played or came out, I was playing that.
I have that game. I haven't played it yet.
Yeah, it's like so I'm really not like I used to call myself a gamer, but that was when I was like legit like I was a gamer. I was playing Call of Duty and shit, playing Halo,
Hmm.
playing all these online games. But and on the Xbox and shit. But now I don't really feel comfortable calling myself a gamer because it's very casual for me now, dude. I really don't. I don't think I
Well,
can
I'm
do
glad you don't because I make fun of people who call themselves gamers. I don't know what the fuck it is. I'm not a gamer because like this one guy I play with at work sometimes. He always says he's like, what kind of gamer are you? I'm like, I'm not a gamer. That's where your first fuck up is. I'm not a gamer. I play Legos when I'm really high, just to calm down, just to chill out. That's my
it.
go-to when I want to blank out of reality. When I don't want to think about the problems, whatever. I'll smoke. I'll put in some Legos, Marvel Legos, which
Hmm.
is like that one's my favorite because it's got like all the characters, and you just fucking go out, man, and just build shit, do some puzzles, let loose.
Yeah, same. I do it like if my job is stressing me out, I do it before. I even do it before work just to mellow, and then after work. Sometimes
Hmm.
even during lunch because I get like an hour lunch. But yeah, I don't know if it's like I think the fact that you can monetize it now. It can
Mm-hmm.
when it became a job where you're like I think I don't know, we're the first streamers probably like on YouTube. I don't know if PewDiePie was even the first. I'm sure he wasn't the first gamer, but he was the first big one that made lots of money. They could that kind of proved to the world that hey, this is a job. I think that's when it became like a sensitive title, where some people are just like, oh, so what's your tag or what's your fucking
Yeah.
channel and shit, and it's like, well, I don't have one. Oh, you're not a real gamer then. I think that's what it became.
I wish someone would ask me that in public. Hey, what's your tag? Go fuck yourself. That's what it is. Get away
Oh,
from me.
I can't find it. Go fuck yourself. Where Alex is
Yeah.
is there a number? It's like, oh, you're telling me to go.
Yeah, the number's 22434. Get fucked. Uh, no, it's funny you mentioned like you would play video games before work to like kind of relax into that,
Yeah.
get into like an easy mind state, pretty much what you're
Hmm.
saying.
Yeah.
See, I did that one time, and you know what happened? I called off work. I got I got too
it,
I got too into the mindset,
it
and I'm like,
is
you know,
it
like
is a
fuck this, I'm gonna call off.
it is a double-edged sword. Like I remember,
Man, you're playing with fire, bro. I don't know how you do
dude,
that.
dude, you're telling me, check this story out. Like, I used to work at this very famous furniture store that rents out furniture, and so we used to touch them up, like the nightstands, and we used to like load up the trucks with like beds, and like it was pretty much
Yeah,
just you could rent out any, like if you were just temporarily staying somewhere or throwing like a little party or maybe like a meeting with like big executives, like you had to fill your shit up, your temporary living quarters with rental furniture, like you weren't going to stay
yeah,
there long term. Um, that's what we would do. So we had TVs, we had Xboxes, we had everything. So we had an hour lunch. So one time, me and this other employee, who we like playing video games, we like playing Halo. Halo was big at the time. We decided, well, let's just go in the break room and set up like, the Xbox and get some controllers and just play there. Dude, we were playing. We lost track of time. Our boss comes in. He's like, "Hey, you guys planning on coming back to work anytime soon? It's been an hour and 30 minutes." I'm like, "Oh shit." We fucking
that's crazy.
yeah, because it's that easy, right? It's so easy to
Yeah.
just get into it,
Oh, you get
immersed.
immersed into it. Yeah, definitely, man. If it's a good game, and if you're playing with somebody too who's also into it, yeah, it's easy to get lost like that. I had this one guy, kind of similar story. Me and this one dude, we just got back from uh, having lunch from God damn it, Steak and Shake. My bad. From Steak and Shake, we were working at third shift at Walmart at the time, and just got back from Steak and Shake. Had our burgers, whatever. I smoked. He didn't smoke, um, and I passed out. And next thing I remember is like a loud knocking on my window, and I wake up, and I'm like, and it's my boss, and I'm like, oh fuck. And then I look over to my right, my buddy's passed out too. And I'm like, oh shit, because he was supposed to wake me up.
It's like,
And
dude, you don't even smoke. You're supposed to be the responsible one.
oh my god, dude. We so our lunch is an hour, right? So everything is from let's just say from 3 to 4.
Mhm.
I think he came and got us at like 4:45, maybe something like that, close to 5 in the. So it's like we were out there for a while. So yeah, they were pretty pissed. Not fired. I did not get fired though. Not for another like 5 6 months. I didn't get fired after that. That's
Oh,
nice.
you can't get fired from a job like that. There's no way.
It was really hard to get fired from Walmart. It was so.
Oh, all these shitty jobs. Did I tell you that I'm doing like freelance now, like web design and whatnot?
Yeah, man. How is that going?
Dude, it's like this is it. Like right now I'm looking for a job just while I build up my clientele cuz I did the math. So like I actually have the website. I'll show you my website sometime once I finish it. I'm still working out the kinks, but it's pretty much done, dude. So I have six different services, six different websites cuz they're not all the same. So like, a website where you sell things on, I charge
Mhm.
like 5 grand for any e-commerce. They call them e-commerce sites where you have to set up like a shop
Yeah.
and you have to like wire up some bank accounts to so that they can receive money. Those I charge 5 grand, right? But so there's like tier levels. So I have them set as like six different types of websites.
Hmm.
So the cheapest one starts at 600. Like the middle ground is like like I think I have it at like either 2,000 or 2,500. So
Damn.
so different prices, right? But After I build a website, next is the monthly maintenance fee. Because like a lot of people don't understand, like you can pay me for a website, I'll build it for you. It's your website, whatever. But if I'm hosting it, it's on my like I use SiteGround, so I'm hosting it
Yeah.
on SiteGround because you have to park it somewhere, right? It's like, hey, we'll build you a car, but now you need a garage to park it in, right? So it doesn't get
Okay.
stolen and shit. So it can live out somewhere, just like a house or whatever. So it's like the land, right? Like the hosting is like the land. Like yeah, I'll build you a house, but you still gotta pay property taxes. Your house that has to be on top of something. You know what I mean? You can't just float in the
Oh
air.
man, you're the
So,
government.
well, yeah, well, I'm pretty much like, cause, dude, like, there's so much that
No, no,
goes
that's
into
cool though,
it.
because I didn't know that. I didn't know that, and I'm just saying you're explaining it very well. Because otherwise, I would have not known what the fuck you're talking about. But that makes total sense.
Well,
Yeah,
some,
you're building these people an RV, and then they also need a place for it to park. And if shit breaks down, well, it's in the garage already. You can fix it.
well, dude, you'd be surprised how many, and I don't get mad anymore. I don't take it personal because I'm like, well, yeah, how would they know? They're not a web designer, but it does feel like a scam. Like when I get clients, dude, some of my first clients, but then I would explain to them like, okay, like I made you the website. So now I just tell them up front before I even build a website. I just tell them up front because a lot of times when you start talking about because I even have it as a contract, like, hey, you have to stay with me for at least a year, right? Because I think
Okay.
a year is fair. Like I was thinking about 2 years, but I'm like, nah, 2 years might be too much of a commitment. People might get pissed, so let's just make it 1 year. Because usually, if they like the service you provide, they tend to stay with you. And if they want to leave afterwards, I'm like, no hard feelings. Like I give them the files, right? I'm like, hey, here's your files.
Yeah.
This is what you give to your next agency or your next provider, your next website person.
Yeah.
You give them these files, and then you tell them this is a theme that these files were built on, and they will make your website reappear right wherever it is you decide to go.
At least you're not scummy about it. That's pretty cool.
No, there's some like the company that I worked for was really scummy. Like for them, they were like they would do it in payments, and then they would give you the files and shit, but they wouldn't explain to you like how to get it up or what you need to do from there,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they really didn't provide much of a service. Like they were very, it was just very like bad practice as far as how to do business. But with me, it's like, not to mention that we're charging them like hundreds of dollars a month. So I tell them, I'm like, hey,
Sure.
listen, that's my biggest selling point. So I'm like, listen, this is how it works. You build the website, so you're paying for the design. The design that I'm building for your website, the way it works, the way it functions, your contact form, all that, that's what you're paying for. But you still have to do maintenance on it. I explained to them, I'm like, just because you have a website doesn't mean it's just gonna run and function eloquently and efficiently. I mean, things go wrong. It's just like when you buy a car. Does your car just last forever? And does it never have like? Do you not need to do
Right.
an oil change? Do you not need to put gas in it? Do you not wash it? Do you not get a check engine light? Do you not get a blown out tire? I'm like, that's the maintenance. It's the same thing with a website. When you have a phone, your iPhone starts acting up. Well, why is it slowing down? Why is it acting up? Because you haven't updated the software on it, right?
It's
You
because
haven't.
Steve Jobs is haunting my fucking phone. Get out, Steve.
Yeah, well, it's all that, right? Your computer, everything needs updates. The human body, as a human being, it's like you need to go to the dentist. Oh shit, I got a fucking what do they call them? I've never had a cavity, but people do get cavities, right?
Oh god, man, I just had mine.
Did you?
That shit. Oh my god, dude, it sucks.
Yeah. So I mean
Oh,
that's just the shit that I explained to them. It's like, listen, it's like and there's nothing in life that you're just gonna buy and it doesn't need to be fixed or repaired. Even your fucking Xbox and whatever. So once you explain it to them like that, they get it. I'm like, but then they're like, well, what do you do exactly? I'm like, well, I just check on it to see if it's gotten hacked because maybe something you did. Sometimes they ask for because it's a WordPress site, they ask for a login, and then they
hmm.
fuck something up. So I'm like, if you fuck something up, obviously I gotta fix it, right? Because I'm not working for free. You're working by the hour, is what I explained to them. So just because you already paid me 2,500 to build your website, if you fuck something up and it's gonna take me a few hours to fix it, am I not supposed to get paid? You know what I mean? It's
Right,
essentially like
right.
you paid me one time for me to work for you for the rest of my life. That's not the way it works.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I make it simple for them. I'm like, look. So this is what I do. I run like not that I do it on a daily, but monthly. because I charge them monthly, either $25 a month, which is very cheap, or $35 a month. So 25 is just for your basic maintenance checks, make sure everything's good, and it's an hour of edits because there are people who are like, hey, if it's like a landscaper, it's like, hey, I have these pictures that I did. I did a koi pond. I'm doing koi ponds now. Can you update this on my website? Obviously, it's not going to take me forever to just upload some images, but he doesn't know how to do it. So that's why you pay me by the hour. For some other people, they want like daily shit, like psychics. I have some psychic people that are like psychics and
Really?
shit. Yeah, so for them, a lot of psychics they want you to do pop-ups. They want you to do like for Halloween. They're like, hey, for Halloween, I want you to do a pop-up that's like a special, like a free reading for a Halloween special. I'm like, all right. They have like, and then they have the Thanksgiving special. They have a Christmas special. They have a New Year's resolution free reading. Like, there's all these little like themes. So for those types of people, psychics, they want like a lot of updates every month. So for
Okay.
them, I tell them, hey, some of this is going to take me a little longer than an hour. For you, I recommend you do the $35 a month maintenance fee, because then it's 2 hours, right? And
Yeah.
if it takes me more than 2 hours, I usually just let it know up front. It's a hey, I gotta charge you, another like I don't know, extra like $25 or whatever.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
I really don't even know if that's because right now it's like I charge by the hour, which is I charge $25 to get me to do anything nowadays. Because I've been doing this for a while now. It's like I gotta charge you 25 because that's how much it is. That's how much I'm worth. I charge $25 an hour because that's how much I would get paid by a web agency if they hired me.
Yeah.
So, but I did a little special where I'm like, all right, well check it out. You want 2 hour of edits? I'll upgrade you to $35 a month, so you get so you I'm pretty much taking out what is it? Let's see, 25. I should know this. So is that $10 difference? No, wait. Well, that's hold on. I'm so stupid with math, dude. Give me a second. That's
All
how
right.
fucking
So
my
we need
brain.
to get we need to get an Asian guy on this podcast then.
So 15.
No, it's
So you
a
save yourself
yeah.
15 bucks.
Right.
Otherwise, because otherwise it would be 50 bucks, right? 2 hours. So I'm like, okay, or you can get, so that's what I tell them, or you can get 2 hour edits a month if you're one of these people that every month you're asking me to do shit, right?
Hmm.
If it's just once in a while, you're like, hey, I have some, if it's a bar and you want to update the menu or something, and it's like every now and then, well, obviously go for the $25 a
An
month
hour.
because
Yeah.
it's just
Month.
one
Yeah.
hour, right? So, but right now I have it at 25 for 1 hour edits, 35 for 2 hour edits. And with no matter what you pick, I update your privacy policy. You know, if it's
Hmm.
2023, I have it set automatically now where it does it, but before I used to do it manually. I do all your updates for your plugins. So every website on WordPress has plugins. If those plugins don't get updated daily, it does cause the website to crash in some cases, some rare cases. So
Okay.
obviously I got to go in there and I got to update the plugins. And I always do like a test for the contact form. Because even the contact form that you fill out when you go on websites and you fill out a form like, hey, my name is Alex Alba, here's my number, blah, 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 they don't always go through. So I'm always doing test emails. So I'm testing out your contact form. I'm updating your plugins. I'm doing malware scanning on the back end to make sure that you didn't do something stupid and get a virus because you wanted a login for your website. I'm also checking out the functionality of it just in general, just to see if you might have done something when you logged in. You know what I mean? Because a lot of them like
Hmm.
to update their own, content and images, and sometimes they might have done something goofy. But either way, that is why you need to charge a maintenance fee. Not to mention the maintenance fee is also because I have to pay bills too, just to SiteGround to have a website to the hosting to host a
Yeah.
website that costs money. So that's also why I charge the maintenance fee. And dude, believe it or not, that's where the real money is. It's not. Most people think like, well, damn, Danny, you're getting paid like minimum 600 to 2,500 per website design. Well, why even charge? Why not just keep hunting for more clients? I'm like, dude, that's you're gonna end up doing a bunch of work for free. Think about all the
Yeah.
edits. Think about all the other shit you have to pay just to make that shit run. You're gonna be working for free. It's like I like to get paid for building the website, but then afterwards I want to have you as a client forever. Because if I get 100 fucking clients, right?
Yeah.
To do the math, I'm gonna do it right now. 100 fucking clients times, let's say the low end, right? 25 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So you figure that's 30,000 a year. You know what I mean?
Jeez. Yeah, man, that's
So like,
amazing.
let's say I have 200. I have 200 clients, and let's say they were like they want the two. No, let's just keep it to the 1 hour edits. It's 25, and then times 12. So that's 60,000. So that's how you start making money, Alex. And like, dude, we're not gonna mention the name of this company that where we met, where we used to work at, but don't.
Come after me, Sammy.
Thank you,
Come after me,
thank you.
motherfucker.
Now I
I
have,
got $5. I got $5
now
in
I
my
have to,
wallet. You can take that shit. I don't give a fuck.
I have
My,
to edit that out now. Thank you so much. No, but like, but yeah, I mean that place, like
yeah.
I, they fucked us, dude. They fucked us. Like the money that I was getting paid there, like,
Oh, they fucked you the most. The way
oh,
they did it was
dude,
dirty.
Mark, Mark,
Dirty, very dirty.
Mark said it best, dude. He's like, for the amount of work you were doing, you should have got paid way, way fucking more, dude. Like, now that I'm
Yeah.
getting paid fucking, it's a few dollars more, right? Like I think I left there at like making 22.80, $22.80, but like now I'm getting paid 25. It's like, what are you complaining about? It's still almost the same amount. No, it's not
No, no,
because
it's not.
I'm doing less work. You know what I mean? It's like I'm doing less work and I'm getting more money because I have clients and I don't get yelled at. Like what I do now, it's like I do it in my underwear, in the comfort of my home. I do it at my own pace. I do good
Dude, do you
web.
know how like lucky you are for doing that too? Like that's awesome. Like that's fucking awesome. Like there's and yeah, that $2 extra, whatever, a dollar extra is fucking makes a difference. I mean, so $2. I mean, good for you, man.
Well,
Seriously, that's
dude,
awesome.
towards the end, like they gave me an 18-cent raise, and that's when I knew that they were pretty much telling me get fucked. It's
Yeah,
like
of course.
they smiled in my face and they told me, "Here's what's fair, 18 cents." And I was just like, that's when I realized I'm like, you know what? Fuck you guys, man. 18 cents? Fuck you guys. It's like just tell me to leave, man. If you guys want me to let, yeah,
Just tell me to leave.
yeah, just like why play this stupid little fucking game? And like it
Yeah.
pissed me off so much. Now that I'm making like real money and I never have to work for anybody ever again. All I have to do is pick up the phone and look at somebody's website and go like, "Hey, I can give you a better website. Here's a free quote."
Yeah.
Like my aunt helped me out. Thank God for her. She has her own she's an American family insurance
Yep.
lady. So
Okay.
so she has the building, right? She has her own little.
Yep.
She's right here in Addison. She's the
Mhm.
owner, and she just sells insurance. So she's the one that helped me get set up with like a bank, self-proprietor. It's not like LegalZoom or anything. Like it's because it's just me. What's cool about freelance is you don't have to do all that other shit with taxes. You just file taxes, and she hooked me up with a tax guy. All I have to do is I have to keep track of all the money. So I have it all
Mhm.
digitally, right? Where I
Okay.
can I can tell my tax guy, it's like, hey, here's my digital file. This is all the money I made this year, and then he does the taxes and he lets me know how much money I have to pay. That's the only thing is you have to save money though, because
Yeah. Right.
yeah,
Yep.
because you're the one, because you know when you're working for a company, they take it out of your check so that you're good with the IRS. You have to do that now. So every time I make money, I have to put away a certain amount so that when it comes time to pay taxes, I'm like, okay, here's the 2 grand or 4 grand or however much it is.
That's good, man.
But dude, it's way easier, Alex. There are some fucking months now, dude,
I
where I
know.
where
I
I
know it.
I made 10 grand, dude.
Yeah.
Like, and it's not every month, right? Because it's not consistent. Like sometimes
Right.
there's a month where like shit, all I made was like 600. There was only one dude that wanted a website, and it was the cheapest one. But
Well, let me and let me ask you this though too, real quick.
yeah,
Like, how expensive is your lifestyle being a bachelor?
yeah,
Still, with two cats.
yeah,
I
dude,
mean, really, what are you going out and buying anyways? So, I mean, even if you did have like a 10, grand 10 grand 1 month, not the next month. I mean, what? You're still pretty good, aren't you?
dude, like the money that I have saved, and like, cause it's basically like this is how I did cause I do it the same way we do like subscribers for our podcast. Cause I'm like, all right, I got my first 10 clients, cool. But like it really goes like this: 100 clients, with that monthly, maintenance fee, 30,000, right?
Right.
200, it's always at 30,000 raised. So 200 clients, 60,000. 300 clients, 90,000. My goal is to get to six figures. My goal, even like 300 at 90,000, dude, you're making six figures. At
Yeah.
90,000, you're making six figures because you're gonna do a website here and there and to make the difference. Like once I get to there as a bachelor, dude, I'm not married. I don't have kids. I just have my two cats, dude. Like it's gonna happen. You know, it's not a matter of if. It's just a matter of when. It might take me like a few years, maybe like 2 or 3 years. I'm gonna hustle as hard as I can, but once I get there, man, it's like I never have to work for another asshole company ever again. And like that was the last straw for me, dude. Honestly, was that company that we work for. That was the last
Yeah.
time where I told myself, I'm like, I gotta get another job now, so I still gotta work for somebody, but I'm never ever going to bust my ass for a company ever again, like I did with that company.
That job, which we will not speak of again, is definitely made me open my eyes to the same thing. I never want to go back to a job like that again. I'm done with shit like that.
Yeah, like
Really done with it, man. I'm just not in me anymore.
people will criticize you, dude. They'll be like, "Oh, so you're just not gonna do a good job when you work for a company?" No, no. There's a difference between I'm going to do my job and work the wage that they pay me. But what I'm talking about is like you, Alex. Remember when you would go to drop off at the end of your shift? You wouldn't get paid for
Hmm.
that. You know what I mean? Going above
Yep.
and beyond is what I'll never do again. I'm never
Yep.
ever gonna work weekends for free. This
Yep.
this this dude convinced me to get off of hourly wage to go salary, because he would be getting a Saturday for free. I
Yep.
wouldn't get paid for that, and that's
Damn
what
right.
I'm talking about. Is this whole
Yeah.
make the company my life and like fuck my life. My life is working for you now. Fuck that. I'll never do that again, ever.
Yeah. He was good. He was a good con man. He got us.
Yeah, it's just playing the nice guy, and then just like probably laughing at
uh,
us, going like these guys are idiots. Like,
I drive out that way by uh,
Race.
Palatine and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And I always hope to see his car one day. Just start flipping him off or something. I don't know. I don't know if I would. I've thought about that. Like, yeah, maybe I'd flip him off, or maybe. I mean, honestly, I don't think I'd do anything because the dude was a joke. Even when he would like scold at me and shit like that, he's like, he would always bring up this example, and never have I ever wanted to flip out on anybody. At
Mm-hmm.
least much less a boss or something. I've always been bitched at, yelled at, whatever at every job I'm almost had.
Yeah, we all have.
Um, right, and obviously you sit there like the good boy and you just take it and you're like, I'm sorry, my bad, I'll do better. All right, let's go back to work.
The usual spiel.
And right, but when this guy would bring up, he's like, you guys go out there and you guys are just dicking around. He's like, and he's like, you gotta put in the work. And you guys talk about my cars. How do you think I got that Porsche? How do you think I got this? He's like, I used to drive around in a van and blah blah. And it's like, I don't want a Porsche. I don't want anything that you fucking have. I don't even want your fucking lifestyle. I don't want your like stuck up wife. I don't want anything like that, dude. Like, it's just funny that people like that are like how they
How they think.
how they think and how they think that's what everybody wants. Everyone wants that high social lifestyle with cars and money and houses and stuff. I could give two less shits about that than anything else. Like, I do not give a fuck what kind of car you drive. I I don't care. That shit means nothing to me. So like whenever he would like bring that shit up, god damn, did I just want to blow up. I did.
It's what I realized is like this dude is just basic. I didn't realize it towards the end when I left. I'm just like, your stupid car. You're just like, shut the fuck up, dude. It's like, do you understand? Like, you're such a mental midget. Is that what success means to you, dickhead? Is like,
Yeah.
oh,
I
like,
think that's what it was. Like that's what success is to him. And I don't know if that's like he was like, and but what would make me mad is that Josh and Miguel and all the other guys, yeah, they would go to Sam and talk about his cars, talk about all these things he's got. I never once asked because I never gave a shit. I don't care. I don't, I wasn't a car guy to begin with,
right?
but I also don't, but I don't like fancy things like that. To me, that's just like meaningless shit.
It's just materialistic things, dude, that are not gonna
Very,
make
very
you
much
happy.
so.
Like, and that dude was a perfect example of like the money went to your head. And the thing is, like, I always
Yeah.
remember my dad. My dad used to say this, where he's like, they say that money changes people. He's like, that's not what it is, Danny. Like he would tell me, like, money just reveals what was always there deep inside you. You might have just been nicer to people when you were
Oh,
poor, because you had to rely on people. You know what I
oh,
mean?
your dad coming out with some Yoda shit right there.
Dude, is that not what it is? It's like
Holy
it
shit!
doesn't
Yeah.
change you. It's just that it just reveals what was already there. It's
Oh
just
man.
once you get that money, you're like, well, shit. I don't have to be nice and cordial. I can just be who I really am now.
I'm telling you now, you and everyone else, whoever listening to this podcast, you guys better hope I don't become a billionaire. I will become the biggest supervillain this world's ever fucking known. I will be Doctor Evil times 10.
Well, like honestly, dude, like for me, because now that I'm making some decent money, I'm like, if I ever do get to that, because I can handle 300 clients with websites. Not everybody needs like daily edits and shit, right? I'll hear from them like regularly enough, but I always have work. But once
Yeah.
it gets to like, shit, I can't imagine. Like, let's say I have like 500 or 1,000 clients. Obviously, I'll have to start hiring people, right? And then it's gonna be a whole fucking rigmarole. But I always said to myself, if I ever do get to that point where I have to start a company where it's no longer just
Why don't you just
self-proprietary,
cap yourself?
well,
Oh, really? No.
that
Well,
there
yeah.
there is
Cap
that.
it.
But
Just cap it. Be
but
like, all right, make it so you're comfortable.
yeah,
Otherwise, you'll turn into Sammy,
yeah,
and then I
definitely,
won't. I
definitely.
won't fuck with you no more.
I do want that. I do want that. I don't want to go any higher, but just as a thought experiment, like if I ever did,
Yeah.
um, I would hope that, and you know what? I used to hope and think about it like what if, but now I know, man. Like, cause dude, I'm almost 40. I just turned 38. It was my birthday.
Jesus Christ, man.
Yeah,
Happy
December
birthday, bro.
this month, dude.
Wow.
Thanks, man. Like I just turned 38. I'm like, I got 2 more years before I turn 40. I'm like, honestly, man. But if you don't know yourself by then, you never will. Like I know who I am, and I could never talk or treat people the way some of these bosses. And it's not just that one
Yeah.
dude. It's every other boss that I ever had. I can't imagine treating my employees like that. Like,
Yeah.
if I can't afford to pay my employees a good wage, then I'm just not gonna fucking do it. You know what I mean? I'm just not gonna fucking do it.
Right.
If I can't afford to like, give them the weekend and give them sick leave and all that shit, then I want nothing. I have no business starting a business. You know,
We didn't even have insurance there, did we? Not till later.
not till
But
later.
which is I'm not saying shit. I mean, it was a startup business, so I mean, it's not like
Yeah,
I was
it's
I was expecting anything anyways.
right.
So,
Well, what pisses
but
me off is like, okay, let's a perfect example, right? Like Elon Musk. Like, did you see fucking Dave Chappelle bringing out Elon Musk?
no, what do you say?
Oh my god, dude, you gotta watch that fucking video. It's so cringe, dude. I lost respect for Dave. Basically, like,
What?
dude, Dave Chappelle brings out Elon Musk. He goes like, and now the richest man in the world, Elon Musk. And then he's like
Uh huh.
riding his dick and shit, and everybody's booing him because Elon Musk right now, when he took over Twitter, he's
Yeah.
because he's very like alt right. He's very like into the Republican space where he's a big time racist in my opinion. Like so he's
Okay.
silencing a lot of like people on the left, and he's kicking out journalists. He's banning journalists, like just expelling them permanently
I
from
heard
Twitter.
something about that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
heard
dude.
something
So
about him. Yeah.
so basically, he comes in there going like, "I believe in free speech," and then he takes away free speech from like a bunch of journalists, a bunch of anybody that literally criticized him. He would just fire these people.
Yeah.
As soon as he took over Twitter, he fired like more than half of the staff. So around the holidays, he just left people like penniless. He gave them like a 3 month severance pay, but it's like, dude, some of these people are on visas and shit. They're from outside the country. Like just pretty much just being an all around asshole. And then after he fired some of these people, he asked them to
Hmm.
come back to work because he didn't realize that he needed some of those people to keep Twitter running like a fucking idiot.
Yeah, that was. I didn't understand that one at all. Like, why does this guy keep fucking firing people that seem to know, like, the ends of the job? But I mean, I thought it for a microsecond because I'm like, well, he's a genius and a billionaire, and
Well,
I just
it's
smoked. I just smoked two bong rips, so you know what? Who am I to judge? Who am I to say anything?
we think that, dude, but honestly, it's just like any other job we've ever had on a minor scale, where like they always try to compress the employees. They always try to compress them in like this little file, this little small file, where it's like, no, dude, like, do you understand that it takes a lot of employees to make this shit function, to make this shit run?
Yeah,
It's just
yeah,
like any other job I've ever had, where the first thing your boss wants to do to save money, he's like, well, I'll just instead of having, 5 employees doing these jobs so they can work at a steady pace and not be stressed out, I'm just gonna fire these 4 employees and give that job to the one employee. And that's what it
yeah,
always is. And it never
yeah,
works because
yeah.
everybody just ends up quitting. It's like, dude, this is a 5 people job and now you're making two or one person do it. Like, fuck you, dude. Like, fuck you. You
Yeah,
put it.
I would get pissed because they would do that shit to Christina. You know, because
Yeah,
Christina would be so good at her job, and
yeah,
she would be helping other people with doing their stuff. They would let those people go, and they'd be like, "Oh, well, Christina, you've done this before, right? You could just do that, right?" And then they just keep throwing more. I mean, she actually left one of the jobs because they did that. They pretty much got rid of everybody, had her do it. Do everything, and she was like getting burned out.
yeah. And they know that, and that's the thing that pisses
Oh,
me
they
off
know
is
it.
they
They
know
love
that.
it. They love it. They love it.
It's such
I
a
don't know. That's something else too. I think about all the time is the kind of person to do that to just like a fellow coworker, fellow human being. But like, I never understood that manager supervisor mindset where it's fuck everyone down below you. It's all about the company. It's what's good for the company because it's if it's good for the company, it's good for you. Which is what like make us more money. We'll give you a little bit more money. We'll throw a couple more change your way and stuff like that. I can't get to that mindset. So
well,
like Danny, like I'm saying, like is like if I was your supervisor and like I couldn't like just be like Danny, look, I know you build websites and all this stuff like that. It's great. Can you go clean the toilets or something like that and bring me a coffee and shit? Like who has the balls to do that? And if you do, I don't even say they're balls. You're a piece of shit. You're just a fucking piece of shit, man. I don't get that whole ordering people around thing. I don't get it.
well, isn't that weird? Like how common it is. Like, it's not just me and you. Like, I talk to other people, and they say the
Oh
same
yeah.
exact shit. They're like, yeah, dude, yeah. Literally, like, they ask you to be the janitor. They ask you, hey, can you also do this? I'm like, dude, I went to college. I'm a fucking web designer. What the fuck are you doing?
I graduated high school, all right, at with a 4.0 grade average. Uh, I was a janitor. I got the grocery carts. I was the fruit caller. I stocked the frozen. I did dairy. I did homewares. I did everything but a register at Walmart.
Well, dude, like, and here's a perfect example of that bullshit. And
I'm just shitting on myself. Just
well,
kidding.
without mentioning her name, at that place that we worked at, the one lady who thought she could lift 1,000 pounds. Don't say her name.
Addie,
Let's just call her.
Addie,
Yes, dude. Krabby
or
Patty.
what? No, Krabby Patty. Oh yeah, Krabby. Let's call her Krabby.
Let's
Got
call her
it.
Krabby. Well,
All right.
like, I remember when I used to do the contact list of people who were employed at that company,
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
and I used to put titles, because we had
Mhm.
welders, we had fucking people who were engineers and who knew how to use the Haas machine.
We
Um,
had a logistics. We had a logistics
we had
guy.
logistics, we had a graphic designer, we had titles, we had a marketing manager, dude. We had a lead. You were the fucking lead. Like, there were just different titles that it's like, this is what the fuck it is. She said no. She's like, everything looks good. Just get rid of the titles. I'm like, why? I'm like, do you understand that people are coming up to me going like, hey, who does what? What does this person do? It's like, we need to communicate. People need to know. The employees need to know what other employees do. Like, what do you mean? She's just like, yeah, I just don't want people to get a big head about things. I'm like, what? Like, bro, you're not even allowed to have titles now anymore. So that degree that you paid so much money for in college,
Uh,
yeah, fuck that. You don't get to have a title. Like
Which is
what?
hilarious because I mean, if that was part of like you know, uh,
I bet you
some
they wanted
shade,
their
some
title.
shade on me or something like that, it's like, well, that's definitely not gonna happen. Big head about that. Like
I'm like, does the
that's what I'm
boss
talking about.
does the
Like
boss
that.
get the
Like
title? Does the boss get
yeah,
to be a CEO? Does the manager get to be a manager at the warehouse? Oh yeah, it's just everybody else. Fuck them.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I couldn't get a big head about that even if I wanted to. Like, that's nothing to, like, what am I gonna do? Post it on Facebook? Oh, look, I'm a lead. Says so. Gives a fuck.
It's not even that it's not so much like to like the prestige and the bragging rights. It's more like just organization and order.
Right.
And not to mention that like the reason why I bring that up is because I noticed that companies now the reason they don't like that is like, no, I want to be able to make you the janitor and build a website. I want to be able to tell you, hey, hop on that forklift and unload this truck, and then also go get us a pizza and go do marketing. It's like,
Yeah.
no, dude. It all goes back to like, you just want one employee. You want to stress out one employee and make them do five different fucking titles, five different disciplines. It's like, that is America, dude. The reason why America is failing so badly now in comparison
Mm-hmm.
to other countries around the world because other countries around the world, this isn't normal. You respect an engineer and his education. You respect even the forklift driver. This is the warehouse. You respect them. No matter what job you do, you respect the person, a custodian,
Yeah.
whatever. Nowadays, they don't want to respect anything other the owner. That's it. You're the CEO and the CFO
Yeah.
and whatever. And the HR lady, those are the only people that get to have titles that are respected. That's what I fucking hate is I'm like, dude, like I'm a nurse, man. Like I saved lives. Like what the fuck? Like fuck you. Like I'm not just some peon, some little
Hmm.
fucking cookie getter, like some Dave
Right.
Chappelle skit. I didn't come here to be a cookie getter. I came here to be a rapper.
The five greatest rappers of all time. Can you name them, Danny?
Dylan, 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 Dylan. Cause I spit hot fire.
Best shit ever.
Oh my
Best
fucking
shit ever.
god.
You can watch that shit over and over, and it doesn't get old. Like
Doesn't.
whenever I feel like bummed out, or if I'm just like, I just need like something to laugh. That shit will guarantee fucking me a laugh every time. Those
Okay,
2 seasons,
okay,
every time.
so you didn't see Dave Chappelle bring out Elon Musk, but did you see Dave
I,
Chappelle and his SNL skit about Kanye?
the opening monologue.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god, what did you think about that shit?
He's not wrong.
He's not. It was funny as fuck.
He's not wrong at all.
I laughed my
Everything 100% right.
well, because it's the Kanye thing is. I don't want to say it's a tricky thing because it's like I know there's a lot of white listeners or Jewish people to be like, "What the fuck do you mean, Danny? It's a tricky thing." He's anti-Semitic. He says he loves Hitler. Yes, I understand. Hitler bad. Hitler bad. Saying I love Hitler is bad. But you gotta understand, like a lot of people that are saying that him having a mental illness isn't an excuse to be a white supremacist. I,
Right.
I'm not exactly sure, dude. Because like if you're a dumb person and you have a mental illness, like if you have bipolar disorder,
Yeah.
you can convince a straight dude to suck a dick if you have a mental
What?
illness. Yes, dude. Yes.
Hold on now. Hold on. I'm
Listen.
bipolar.
Listen.
You can't put a dick near me and tell me to open up.
Listen.
I'm telling you that right now.
You give me 30 minutes, Alex. You'll let me stick a finger in you. You give
Get
me
the fuck
30
out of here.
minutes. I just think that like you might be like that dude, but maybe you're smarter than the average person. But like we've all met
Now
some dumb people, dude. I've met some dumb people where
you're giving me too much credit now.
dude, remember that employee that talked about talking snakes and like especially religious people?
Oh
Religious
man.
people, dude, you can. That's why people get. How do you think cults get started? How do you think
Oh,
there's some
right. Yeah,
crafty
right.
dude? Yeah, it's like because there is a guy out there that is smart enough to get a bunch of girls to suck his dick and to make him think that he's Jesus. That shit is real,
And there's tons of them out there too. It's like so
dude.
if you haven't picked up that there's a Jesus in Russia, there's a Jesus in fucking
Ex-
Colorado,
yeah,
there's a Jesus in India. I mean, the guy's literally everywhere.
that's why like with Kanye, I think what we're seeing is like he's a dude that's got obviously he's not well, and he's got a bunch of handlers around him. He's got a bunch of people around him that are manipulating him and are using him. And
You
that's
think
what
so?
fuck yeah, dude. Like honestly, I'm not making excuses. I just want to set the record straight. He is an idiot. He is a very ignorant, very fucked up person, and he shouldn't be saying the things that he's saying. And obviously the Holocaust is wrong. Any Holocaust, any genocide is wrong, and people like Kanye are disgusting. But I think we also need to hold accountable the people that are around him because they're enabling that shit. They're
Yeah.
enabling that shit. All these motherfuckers that are platforming them, that are giving them a platform to spew all this hate, they should be held accountable just like anybody else, dude. You know. And with that said, unfortunately, because I am going to say this, it's not that black and white. We're like, the black community does have a gripe. They do have a right to be like, hey, I get it. I'm not saying that all Jewish people are evil and that there's a cabal and all this shit, but I am saying that in terms of the black community, we have been taken advantage of by another community, and that is the Jewish community. Obviously, it's not every fucking Jewish person, it's not every black person that's been taken advantage of, but I'm saying the relationship is fucked up. The
Yeah.
relationship of, a manager and a black person that has talent is fucked up. This whole thing of like, we control your culture, we control how good you sound. We can make you look bad. I mean that is a thing, dude, and it's not fair. I don't think black people have been treated right, is what I'm saying. You know what I mean? I don't think. I think you can do better. You know what I mean? Than
I
just
mean,
they've done studies on this. Like all the stuff that you hear in rap videos and in the music, right, about killing black people, right? You
okay,
listen
yeah.
you listen to rap songs. It's like okay, it's kind of idolizing and it's monetizing black death, right? Like, hey, kill this black person. I'm a gangster, blah blah blah. They did a study where like this dude's like, okay, would you be able to get away with having white rappers talk about killing other white people? You know what I mean? You wouldn't.
Well,
There's no
well,
fucking
yeah.
way.
ICP.
I mean, this is like a one-off though, like you know what I mean? And obviously they get shit for it.
Um, ICP. There's Twisted. There's a whole horror genre of rap and rock and punk where it talks about homicide and shit like that. I mean,
Think so?
I don't know. Yeah, man. The thing is like,
Do you think it gets pushed as hard though? Like in terms of ICP, I think that's like their choice, right? Whereas some of these rappers, they complain. They're like, no, they're telling me to rap about this shit. I'm like, dude, I don't feel comfortable rapping
well, if they
about.
want to be, yeah, if they want to get mainstream, if they want to be on the radio and shit like that. But there's plenty of rap that's not like that too.
And you know
So,
what? You bring up a good point to broaden the spectrum. I think the problem is like also that you look at like YouTubers, right, and YouTube channels. I think the problem is also negativity, even like the news channels, right? Negativity sells more. You get more views. You
oh
get
hell
more
yeah,
you get more eyeballs when you talk
yeah,
about
yeah,
bad
yeah.
shit. If you talk about kittens and puppies, mm,
I mean, you're gonna attract a certain group, but they're gonna be like 60+ cat ladies, year old cat ladies and shit. Just that's what they're looking forward to. It's
yeah,
new song about puppies. So I don't
yeah,
know. The dark has always I don't know outshined the light for sure. Ever since I think since forever.
well, because I enjoyed Dave Chappelle's you know SNL skit. What do you want to call
Mm-hmm.
it? His intro,
His
but
opening monologue, yeah.
yeah, his opening monologue. But he got called anti-Semitic. There were people that were like, I mean, Jewish people widely, but also non-Jewish people. I saw a lot of non-Jewish people going like that came off as very anti-Semitic, and I was like, really? You think so?
I,
I thought it was well balanced.
I think it's just so easy to call anything anti-Semitic. It's so easy to call anyone a racist. It's just so thrown out there, just tossed around. It's just tossed around a lot. I mean, why don't they call NASA fucking anti-Semitic?
Call who?
Fucking Nazis, NASA,
Oh,
our space program.
because they hired Nazis. Oh, I guess.
Majority of them, there's still an award that is given out to this day that's named after a Nazi.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's
Where's the
definitely.
uproar about that? That's the thing that's what I don't. That's why I can't tolerate human beings, all of us as a species. Why I don't have any hope for us is because the pick and choose. It goes from pick and choose on your religion, pick and choose on how you talk, pick and choose It's always choice. We're always given the choice, which I'm all for.
There's definitely
But
a double standard for sure.
that's the shit would just that irks me. The hypocrisy about it.
Well, I've
You
I've
know.
been called I've been called anti-Semitic just for saying that what Israel is doing to the Palestinians is fucked up, and I've been called anti-Semitic. I'm like, how the fuck is like
That
compl-
shit I can't understand either. Because I mean, I don't really talk to anybody about it, but I mean, my thoughts on it is the Jewish people were persecuted and almost genocide during the Holocaust, right? Horrible, horrible things done to them. That's not that's not disputed. Same with Native Americans, genocided, not disputed.
yeah,
But how are you as Jewish people gonna how can you guys, from being treated like that to go right to your next door neighbor to these people, the Palestinians who, I mean, let's face it, they they
broke,
live the same place. They
poor,
live in the same place though, right?
yeah,
They live in the same place. They kind of believe the same stuff. Just little again, pick and choose from, what parts they like and parts they don't. And then you're gonna fucking kill kids. You're gonna, you know, kick Palestinian farmers off their land. You're gonna burn their crops. You're
yeah.
you're genociding these people.
Like
And
literally,
you guys literally, we just saved you guys from all that shit. And now you guys are doing it?
yeah,
What sense does this shit fucking make?
literally the most perfect example of you've become the thing you hate the most.
And and God forbid that's going to be anti-Semitic. But how? How is that when it's the truth? It's not like you can't look this shit up on the news. They're constantly talking about it.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I've met plenty of Jewish people that do not agree with what Israel is doing. They're like, no, dude, I'm Jewish. It's fucked up. It's genocide. They'll call it out, and you know what? There's Jewish people, they get called anti-Semitic, and it's like, dude, I'm Jewish. I'm not
Yeah,
like I'm not anti-Semitic for saying what we're
yeah.
doing to the Palestinians is fucked up.
And
And
that's just my point, that word gets tossed around so much that you could say that to somebody and it's like, well, hold on, I'm Jewish.
I'm always careful not to, as a Mexican, right? I'm always careful not to call people racist because I feel like if I do that a lot, the more you do that, you have to be very careful and very clear if racism is being actually expressed. Because if you keep just calling everything racist, it loses all meaning. It only
Oh, for
helps out the
sure.
racist.
Yeah, right.
And but what makes me sad about that scenario, that specific situation, where like there's a group of people that went through a Holocaust and then now they're doing it to another group of people is I used to think there was always this expression of you can understand another human being no matter how different your culture is if you just walk a mile in each if we just walk a mile in each other's shoes, you can
Right.
understand that person. I used to believe that, dude, until I read this book not just real life situation, but have you ever read Mouse? Mouse. It was like a comic book.
No, never
Uh,
heard of
it
it.
was the son of a Holocaust survivor,
Okay.
and he illustrated the Jews as mice, and then the Nazis as like cats, and he was really really good about like just kind of showing the horrors and how they lived and how fucked up it all was. But there was this
Yeah.
one segment of the comic book where like his dad, he survived the Holocaust, and his mom later on, who also survived the Holocaust alongside his father, she committed suicide because I guess it's like that shit stays with you. But
Yeah.
the dad talks about how horrible it was, how you could smell the burning flesh off people, and his son is like the one who wrote the comic book, and then he's describing a day, right, something that happened to him once they were here in America, and the Holocaust had ended and the
Yeah.
Jewish people were freed, right? He was describing a
Oh,
day
wow.
when he was driving with his girlfriend. I don't know if it was his wife at the time, and the dad was in the back seat of the car, and there was
Yeah.
this black gentleman who was like trying to hitchhike, trying to get a ride,
Mhm.
and they gave him a ride, and then they dropped him off, and then after they dropped off the black gentleman, his dad was mumbling in the back, like saying stuff, like kind of like being unpleasant,
Yeah.
and then after they dropped off the black gentleman, his dad said to the son, "He's like, why'd you pick up such and such black dude. It's like I had to watch some of the possessions I guess they had in the car to make sure he didn't
Okay.
steal anything. And then immediately his son and
Huh.
his daughter-in-law, I guess you would call her, they
Yeah.
were like, "How could you say that when like you went through a Holocaust and you got treated
Right.
a certain way, and here you are expressing the same bigoted, like anti-black views that like the same ignorance that was like, you know, that caused like your genocide. Like, how could you be no different than the people that put you in a concentration camp, dude? And that's
Man, that's the thing. It goes back. You can trace that and find that in everything. I mean, look at the Italians that came
yeah,
immigrating to America.
yep,
Nobody wanted to hire any of them. They were highly discriminated against.
yep,
And then whatever, they got incorporated. They're in the system and everything. And then they they're like one of the most racist fucking people. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
they're very like bad against black people. They're very bad against Mexicans.
Well,
Like yeah.
I talk I got white friends and they tell me they're like oh it's just kind of like some people like chalk that up to being like hazing like when you go to college it's like it's not the hazing dude it's not like
Nah.
they're like well dude after enough time goes by
Yeah, it'll stop, huh?
you guys will
Okay.
become just like it's like no dude because I had a teacher in college who said it best he's like listen he's like yes, we were racist against Irish people. You know, we call them potato eaters. We call them mix. All kinds of
Yeah.
racist shit. We call the Italians wops. Other racial slang terms, right? But then
Right.
eventually, we got together because the common denominator is we're all white. So eventually, yeah, it didn't. It stopped, and it wasn't as bad. Not that we still don't. They still don't do it to each other, but
Right.
there's always a hierarchy of like who's whitest, right? But the thing
Right.
is, like, the difference is and this is a white teacher telling me all this. He's like, the difference is, you're brown. For lack of a better word, you guys are brown. You'll never be accepted. And he didn't say it in a mean way. He was just saying
Right.
it in a way that he understands. He agrees with me, where he's just like, yeah, it's different for you guys because you guys, whether you're Asian, whether you're Middle Eastern, whether you're black, you're never going to be seen as the real Americans. You're always going to be seen as the other. So
Yeah.
when I used to think that like all it would take is walking a mile in somebody else's shoes, nowadays because of all those examples and real life events, nowadays I think differently. Nowadays I just think like you know what man, it just seems like every group just waits for their chance to be the asshole, to be the bully. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I hate to say it, but like would I ever do that? No. Like if my Mexican race ever came up on some real power and we could like discriminate against people with no recourse, with no, backlash, I would hope that we wouldn't do it. I would hope that we wouldn't be those assholes. But goddamn man, like it really makes you sad. Like I'm like, does it have to be this way? Do you have to fucking bully somebody to make yourself feel better? Like what the
I
fuck?
don't want it to be that way, and I would like to say I hope not too, but you know what? I don't have as much hope in humanity. I think if it was us, if it was the bottle was spin the other way, yeah, we would be. Anybody fucking would be. It's just something about because again, it all comes down to just human nature. We're
Man,
all the fucking same. We're all wired the same way
what's fucked up too is like
to an extent.
in a weird way, that's kind of what perpetuates discrimination, right? It's like
Yeah.
that idea that like, well, if they had power, they would do it to me.
So and it's like and going back all the way to like
It almost makes it
tribal
okay
time.
to be an asshole.
Right. All the way in tribal times. I mean, and from tribal times, to the primates now, like chimpanzees. There's different tribes. Yeah, you always went to war with different tribes because maybe they had these colored feathers, maybe they had, you know, this kind of land, whatever it was, but or some kind of like little difference. I mean, not land. So some kind of little difference, and it's just constantly fighting, always fighting. And that's when I take the human out of human nature and it's just nature. We're part of nature, are we not? So that's just it is. That's just what it is. I think we're always gonna be like that.
Do you ever wonder like, especially now because all this UFO shit is coming out?
I'm gonna take a hold on. I'm gonna take a hit just because you said that. That's the word of the day,
Here we go.
people. You
We're
at UFO.
we're
If
about to
you
get
hear the
into it.
word UFO today,
Take a
you
bong
take a
hit.
hit.
Every time you hear
All right, go
UFO.
ahead. Continue with your question. Go ahead.
Well, I've always thought like, okay, in order to become an advanced race, an advanced species, to like overcome death, where you have life extension technology, you become immortal as you can be. You live longer, and
I
you
hope
you
not.
just you're able to travel to other planets.
Yeah.
That had to have been one of the things that they overcame, right? It's one of the hurdles of like becoming Star Trek or like any of those utopias. You have to get over the racism. You have to become
Hmm.
civilized, like a true civilization, a true civilized group of people, a true civilized world. And and I wonder, it's like, well, how do you do it? How do you get the human race, Italians, Mexicans, Chinese, black people, like everyone, every religion, how do you get to the point where we get along? It doesn't have to be perfect, just enough so that we all can just kind of become planetary and reap the benefits of living longer and just being happy people. It's like, how do you get there?
Everybody needs bullshit goggles. Everybody needs bullshit goggles because they could see their own bullshit. Then, I mean, I call out my bullshit all the time. I am very, very self-aware, right? Very self-aware, and I'm puzzled sometimes that there are people who I've come across and they're just like totally not aware.
Yeah,
Sometimes they don't even know, they're not aware of their surroundings, let alone of who they are. I'm not to say, and I don't know who the fuck I am. So, but I know where I'm at. You
right.
know what I'm saying? I know what I think. I know my opinions. I know they can change and all that shit. But uh, lost my train of thought there. I'm looking at this mouse thing by Art Spiegelman. That's who you're talking about. That
Yeah,
is some wild shit, man.
dude, I
Wow.
will let you. I have both. I have both of them. If you want, I'll just
Do
let
you
you borrow two.
really?
Yeah, I'll let you borrow the two. It's just 2 books, 2 comic books.
Wow.
I'll if I when we
They're
meet
they
up, I'll
look
give it
pretty
to you.
brutal though.
Dude, you will not be able to put that book down. Like as soon as you start reading it, you're like, oh my god, like it gives you some very
Well, the illustrations alone, man, are kind of like
very talented dude. I missed a chance to get an autograph by one of my buddies in college.
oh
He
really?
came to Chicago, yeah, and he got his comic book autographed. He said he was a
Wow.
real great dude, real just inspiring, happy guy.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That's
But
crazy.
it just because I want to get there, man. Oh my god, like I want if we can just put our differences aside, dude, you can live longer, you can travel to other worlds, and I'm convinced that life extension technology, I'm convinced that shit already exists on planet Earth. The people at the top, I'm convinced they're the here's how I always tell people, I'm like, it's not Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos. I think there are people that live on planet Earth that you'll never hear about. The people who you don't know their names, you don't know what they look like. Those are the people that have the immortality technology. Those are the people that are multi-trillionaires. I really do believe there is a elite group of people on planet Earth who run everything, like behind the scenes. Um,
Yeah,
Not saying they're a particular fucking race or culture. I don't know who they are. I don't, that's the point.
they
Is like
might not even be human.
they might. That's what I'm saying. That they might not even be human and shit. But like I wonder if that's really like, if we ever do come to a point where like other alien races contact us, just be like, yeah, you guys didn't figure it out. This was a group of people that were controlling you this whole time. This is why things are so fucked up.
Well, I mean, who for all we know, that war could actually be going on already.
Could it could
You know what
other
I mean? Like white hats against the black ops guys, that are running everything. The draconians,
draconian
maybe.
motherfuckers, the gray aliens, the Pleiadians, the fucking
Well, the great. I
Andromedans.
don't know. I like that theory of the Greys are just drones
Yeah,
because
yeah,
it would make sense why they all kind of look alike and they all seem to kind of have the same function and everything like that. But whenever you hear about a Palladian um, or did I say that right?
Pleiadian, I think is how you
Oh,
pronounce it.
A Palladian or something.
Yep,
Yeah. Or the Draconians. Look at I'll use the Draconians as the best one because I looked them up more. And,
yep.
they always say, yeah, they had like a alligator mouth or some had long tails, some had short tails, some were, their heads were kind of like an alligator and some kind of had just like a normal human head shape, but it was, covered with scales and stuff like that. So it's like, there's different variations, right? Is where I'm going with that. But
Yeah,
the grays are always the same. So to me, that's why I'm thinking those dudes are just drones or clones or some shit like that.
yeah. Whenever
I don't think they're us from the future. I don't think.
yeah, that's I've heard some people say that. I don't think that either. Like what I think is more likely is like when I see Stephen Greer, that guy that had a bunch of like uh
Have you?
U.S.
Did you watch his latest?
Yeah, I've seen all of them, dude. I've seen all of
Yeah,
them.
they're good. That was
And
really good.
the ones
Hmm?
that I like are when he has other government officials, other whistleblowers that are like, listen, they're
Yeah.
like when the topic of like the reptilians or the Greys or all these he's like, I forget what the name of this dude was that Stephen Greer had on, but he's like we just stopped categorizing, like we kept going, but there is thousands and thousands of different races, like, and they're all unique. There are some
Yeah.
that look like me and you, where they can literally walk among us and you wouldn't even tell that they're not white or Mexican or human. They look just like us. He's like,
Yeah.
there are ones that are reptilian and they look different from each other. There are ones that are like insectoid. He's like, the universe is just beaming with different life. And for me, I used to kind of like try to like differentiate which ones are which, but I'm like, you know what? It's impossible. It's like there's a shitload of different ones. I don't even get caught up in like who's who and who has treaties with what,
Right.
and I'm just like,
Right.
who the
Because the
hell
thing is,
knows?
right, exactly. It's like, and unless for me at least, unless I actually see these beings,
Yeah,
you can look outside your window and see different races of people. Until I can actually see different races of these aliens, I
yeah.
mean, I'm not gonna believe this shit.
It would be nice to know like which ones are on our side, like which ones are like, hey, we feel bad for you guys. We wish we could help, but that would mean starting a war with the reptilians or some shit. It's like
And,
it.
and and that's interesting, right? Because like out of all of them, for some reason though, it's always the reptilians or the draconians. They always seem to be the bad guys, don't they? Like, don't they even give off like a bad feeling vibe
Yeah,
when you
everyone
think
that
about them, talk about them, watch them?
yeah, when you see or hear interviews about people who have like experienced them, it's always like they always have the same um description where it's like it feels demonic. It feels like yeah,
It
they're
just feels bad.
evil,
It's like it
evil as
just
fuck.
feels, yeah,
Yeah,
right. Doesn't feel like it's on your side for
yeah.
sure.
Dude, for all I know, they could like see us as like the same way we look at cows and shit, like hamburger. Like this
Yeah.
is just some thing that I eat. Like I don't give a
Oh,
fuck.
did you see that one video? It's with this special glass and glass or glasses, and this guy, he's like, you put these on, and there's these like cigar shaped um, crafts hovering over like the city of like San Francisco, wherever he was at the time, and it's just releasing gas. And he's like, he takes off the glass from the camera,
Hmm.
and there's nothing there. You don't see anything. He puts the glass back over it, and you see it. And
This is
there's not
a
just one. There's like dozens of them.
you're saying this is a movie or a YouTube video?
This is an actual video. This is an actual. Yeah, it's supposed to be real. I could try to find the video and I'll send
Yeah,
you the link.
yeah. Send me the
But
link.
that was really odd because it's like how many cigar shaped UFOs have we've always heard about? How many? Definitely when the astronauts were in space going to the moon or just doing, or I think even on the ISS, they talk about cigar shaped crafts all the fucking time. And it's like, what if those were, are those are like the crafts that are like keeping us oppressed or,
Well, the
I
the
don't know.
crazy thing is now is like when I listen to Stephen Greer, that
Yeah.
doctor dude, he says that when he talks to government officials, they're like, dude, we can fly ET home now. Like where he literally says he's like a lot of those UFO crafts that you're seeing now, we made them. We back engineered the ones that we caught, the ones that crash landed now, and now we
Yeah.
have that capability. Now and
Mm,
what scares me is they always talk about like the great conspiracy, the grand conspiracy or plan is to like to fake a UFO invasion to kind of get
yeah.
like the global order now. Because if they have crafts that look like UFOs now,
Yeah.
if they can like pretend and mimic actual extraterrestrials, then yeah, they could plot a coup. They could pretty much like make it look like an alien invasion for their own nefarious purposes. That's what scares the shit out of me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It would be believable.
It would, but I know I would be very out like spoken against that. Like I would call bullshit immediately because I mean if they said that Warner Braun he was the one who was like high in the NASA space program and developed all the rockets and shit for that. And he knew more than what he let on. And then on his deathbed, supposedly that's what he said. He said the last card they're gonna play is alien invasion, and that's how they're gonna really,
Bring in the New World Order.
New World Order and all that shit.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but fuck, it's fun to really think about.
I mean, shit. Is that not how you would do it, though? Right? That's what's so
Oh,
scary.
absolutely, yeah. I mean, it's a false flag operation. How many times have we fallen for those?
Because the thing is, like, you and me might be like skeptical enough, aware enough to be like, I call bullshit. But my mom, if someone like my mom, she'd probably think like, oh, it's the end of the world. Some Catholic Mexican lady.
Well, of course, and that's the people they're going to play on. That's the people they're playing on.
Oh my god, it's just so fucking crazy, dude. I don't know, man.
Are you going to join them, Danny? What are you going to do? You going to join them?
Uh,
Would you join to turn on your own race?
I would honestly like if it ever gets to the point where it's just total fucking draconian law, just be like, just kill me, dude. Just I don't want to live anymore.
What?
I like
What?
why? Like why would I want to
The,
live in some phony system where I'm a slave?
you're doing that already. Why
it,
not?
it is kind of fucked up because like yeah, I'm kind of doing it already. Like I just always think like man, like why does it have to be? Because the thing is always with me, it's like it could be so much better. We could so turn this shit around. We could have Star Trek, like because that's why I like movies like Star
Yeah.
Trek, because it gives you a view of like hey, this is the parallel universe where we figured it out. This is an example of like we all came together. We understood there's other races, but we all have peace treaties, and we all just kind of try not to piss each other off. Like that that would be chill. Like if I could have my own spaceship dog and be like Captain Kirk, just be like Jean-Luc Picard and just visit other worlds and have sex with aliens, that would be amazing.
I mean, anything's possible, man.
But
So
unfortunately,
maybe they could do that for you if you joined them.
but what would that mean though? Would I have to drink like baby blood? Would I have to like do fucked up shit?
Who cares? You're not even on this planet anymore. What the fuck do you care?
If there was like some benevolent alien race to like land in on my backyard and said, "Hey, we're gathering up all the good human beings and we're gonna take you to another planet, just like Earth, but you're gonna start over." And even then, it would be like a risk. Be like, okay, well, what makes me, well, what ensures that like as soon as you take me there, you're not gonna eat me? So I have to trust you that you're one of the good guys.
Yeah, yeah. Like, what makes me special? Why'd you pick me? You said good. I robbed the candy. I robbed the candy store the other day. I took a Snickers bar without paying. So how are we defining good here?
So listen, Dan, we know about your little shenanigans. We know that you fucked your wife's sister, things like that.
We've seen your Google search. You sick bastard.
Man, I don't know. That'd be cool as fuck though, dude. Just to get a clean start, just clean slate, wipe the slate clean, get to start on another planet. That would be cool, but I don't know if it. Honestly, my biggest thing now is like, because as you get older, dude, I'm like, wouldn't it be great if some really smart dude figured out, even if it was just 100 years, if some really smart dude figured out, like, hey, Danny, here's a syringe, you inject these nanobots into your body, you get to live another
Yeah.
100 years. Oh, that would
Hmm.
be great. If we had life extension technology in our lifetime, that would be the shit. But you know it's gonna go to the elites. You know it's gonna go to the one percenters first
Yep.
before they give it to the peasants.
Well, I mean, yeah, it took us probably what, like 30, 40 years before they gave us the iPhone. So, because they probably had that shit for that long.
Yeah, I think the military, right? They had like text
Yeah.
messaging and internet and all that stuff.
Well, James,
Oh yeah, he
remember
told
James,
us.
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He said, I still remember that, when I was had my little iTouch, the screen and everything. He's like, man, I haven't seen that in a long time. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, we had that when I was in the military. He's like, we had those on our wrists. I'm like, you had this like 20 years ago? Yeah. Fuck.
Shit. Have you been following this Ukraine war?
I have. Yeah.
How do you think that's gonna end, dude? Because obviously there's everything has a beginning, a middle, and an end. If like people are asking me, like my mom asked me, and like some
Mhm.
other friends and relatives, I'm like, dude, I'm like, I don't see how Ukraine can win. You know,
Really?
they're doing a good job, but honestly,
Okay.
it's still a bigger country. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because
I'm.
you look at the U.S. and Europe and the problems they're having with energy, and like United States is a very selfish country. Like they're not gonna like keep giving them weapons. They're like, hey, we're running low on our stock and shit. What if China invades us?
I mean, we just what they just justified what 85 $858 billion
Hmm.
of of relief, and it's like that. But I read something about like 700 of that billion actually goes to us for our weapons and shit like that and military. It just goes out to the military,
Yeah.
industrial complex. But you know, whether people like to think it or not, we're involved in this war.
Oh yeah, it's a
We're involved.
proxy war. It's a proxy war for
We're
sure.
involved.
We're
And it
definitely
and what
involved.
but that's what like what bothers me the most is that other people, even me saying that like we're involved. I'm not involved. You know what I got to do tomorrow, Monday at 5 in the morning, Dan? I got to fucking wake up. I got to go to work too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, uh, this shit has nothing to do with me.
Yeah. I don't get a
And
vote. I don't get a vote on this
yeah,
shit.
so it's like I don't know. I hate that shit. But how I think it will end, obviously, the most obvious thing is it's not going to end good. Um, I don't think nukes are gonna be involved, and I have two sides of this. There's a rational side to it, and then there's my conspiracy side to it. Would you like to hear both?
Absolutely.
All right, so I'll tell you the rational part. This is the rational part. Either side, it's not gonna end well. I don't know who the exact winner is going to be, or I don't have an idea who a winner is going to be. Because as far as I see it, Russia not doing well at all. Russia and Ukraine, I mean, they're doing well, but I mean, I don't know, they still need help. So, as far as nukes being used, I don't see Russia using nukes only because why would you nuke a territory that you're
Yeah.
seeking?
Not to
You're
mention,
you can't do anything with that land for like
yeah.
thousands of years. So
Not
what's the fucking point?
not to mention like whoever uses nukes, even the U.S. or whatever country, like you've you've just made yourself the bad guy, pretty much.
Right. And that shit spreads. So now that's going to get it over to Germany. It's going to get over into Poland. Now you pissed everybody else off. Now they're what? Now they're going to send their nukes to Russia, and
Yeah.
then Russia's going to send nukes to everyone else, and it's just a big implosion.
Yeah. Everybody has to get
And
involved
everybody
now.
else. Right. And then that's for sure apocalypse. That's for sure everybody's dead. Okay? There's that rational why I think they won't use nukes.
I agree.
Conspiracy side, Alex says that these nukes are gonna be used, but it's gonna go like this: Russia's like Putin's on his last fucking leg. Forget last leg. He's on his last pinky toe. He's shitting himself, falling downstairs. He is just on his last toe, and he's like, "Fuck it, nuke them." And then we're like, "All right, we're gonna nuke too." So all the nukes are getting prepped. They're all getting ready to launch. Bam. Aliens then show up. The aliens that were, said that were going to come and invade us, they show up. They disarm all the nukes. Then they're like, all right, we're your leaders. And then that's how the whole new world.
It's not a bad. It's not a bad conspiracy theory.
Well, it's not, well, because look, how many times has that exact thing has been reported where they, at nuclear missile sites, UFOs have showed up and they've turned off, their station. They disarmed all the nukes or whatever. You've heard that, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So it's like, what's to say that when that time comes when we are going to do that to ourselves, they're not going to come and intervene?
Yeah. I've also seen the videos of like us shooting them, and then they're like barely got away from it. You know,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a missile following them and shit. Like, I wonder like how advanced has the secret military got to know? Like, can we? can we actually shoot down some of their shit? Do we have like lasers and shit?
Yeah.
Like
I
pulse
mean,
weapons?
that's what Space Force is supposed to be, right? It's supposed to be defense and shit like that from asteroids, but
Yeah, that's what they call it. That's what they're
that's what
saying.
they say. They Speaking of that, did you see that they shot that that rocket into that one asteroid to see if it could change the course of it, the program?
I heard about it. I didn't see it though.
I was watching it live. That shit was the coolest fucking thing ever, man. I thought that was really neat. So if you ever get a chance to check that out on YouTube, it's
Did it
pretty
work?
interesting. Yeah, it did. I think it worked better than they thought too, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Nice. We could have saved the dinosaurs. Could at least save
Could
ourselves
have.
though.
Yeah. Poor guys.
Fucking shit. No, it's definitely an interesting time to be alive. Excuse me, I got a bad cough and shit. I
Very good.
man, I really don't know how that whole Ukrainian thing is gonna end.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cause
I
like,
really don't.
will Ukraine even be allowed to be a nation? Like, what if like is there a scenario where Russia just takes over all of it? And they're like,
Yeah.
yeah, you're just Russian. You're not Ukrainian anymore. And then they're like, and then they start looking at the Polish the way Germany was looking at at Poland during World War fucking
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like are they gonna stop or are they gonna be like nah let's just double dip let's double dip yeah
We're gonna
it
double
took a
dip
lot of
this.
Russians dying to get Ukraine but we got some more babies coming they'll be adults soon let's go for Poland fuck it go big or go home I hope not I hope not it's like
I
dude
don't think. I don't think so. But
Poland is different right because then everybody does have to get involved because then it's
yeah, yeah. Well, you like that missile that fucking hit the apartment, or
dude it was what was crazy about
the,
that is it was definitely a
I
Russian
called it as soon as I heard that story. I'm like, oh, this is a bullshit story. They're gonna try saying it was Russia, but watch, Ukraine shot it, and I was fucking right. I mean, I didn't tell anybody that, so it's
well
not like I
well
can be
the
proved right. But
well
I
the
thought that.
dude, well the funny thing is like no matter which way like whether it was Russia, a Russian missile or a Ukrainian missile, either way they were never going to say it was they were always going to say like cuz they don't want to get involved. That's what made me laugh cuz I'm like,
Right.
dude, it could have easily have been Russian like confirmed, but they were still going to say like, "Oh, it was just an accident. It was from Ukraine." And meanwhile the Ukrainians are going like, "You fucking pussies. You
Right.
fucking pussies. We're dying here. Help us. You have a legitimate reason to get involved now. You're just saying it was us. Like we don't know how to fire." And it's literally like one goes west, one goes east. How the fuck do you fire in the wrong
Right.
direction? Like go
Right.
fuck
Right.
yourself.
Right.
I don't know,
Yeah,
man.
man. That shit is like that's just what I don't like. It's just how they have to get other people involved. And it's just like, how have we as uh you know, a society not realize that these politicians are just not only just so full of shit, but they care nothing for us. Why do we keep fighting for them? Like, I'm not naive to think that we don't need an army or a military.
Yeah,
Every nation should have one. Sure, I mean, because you never know.
yeah.
Like we're human beings. We're unpredictable sometimes, and
Yep.
we like fucking shit up. So that being said, um, how have we not risen up to be like, all right, listen, we're not shooting. They're not going to shoot. Putin, go in the middle of the field. Vladimir, go in the middle. The other dude, yeah, Zelensky, go in the other. You also go in the field. Fight it out. Winner gets the other one's territory.
Mortal Kombat.
Just why can't we? How have we not gotten to that point yet? How have we not everyone's mad about the January 6th coup and everything like that. If anything, that's what we should all be doing. We should be going to the United Nations and running into that place, and they're making the frogs gay. And I'm losing this rant. I'm
Well,
losing it, Danny.
well, the thing is, like, a lot of people got mad at me, like, in my social circle of friends and family, when
Yeah.
I don't know if you heard of course you did, you probably did, when
What?
Nancy Pelosi's husband got fucking bashed over the head
Oh,
with it.
him and his gay lover got caught.
Well,
Yes,
whatever all the conspiracy theories that came afterwards were, right? Obviously, he was there for Nancy or whatever it was, and then
right.
Nancy stepped down,
Nancy.
right?
Hmm.
Because
Oh yeah,
the
yeah.
shit got too real. And
Yep.
I look at that scenario, dude. I look at this goofy vampire bitch, this goofy wrinkly bitch with her fake tits and shit. I'm like, you're a fucking grandma, dude. You're fucking 100 years old and you're getting fake tits. Like, is this what my money
Nice.
is? Like, what
Nice.
the fuck are you doing?
Nice. Oh
Like,
yeah, right.
to me, it's like, it's such a fucking goofy world that I live in where that's what the politicians are prioritizing. It's like I'm gonna get some fake tits at age fucking 90, and
And play the stock market because
yeah,
know all the fucking
yeah, and be a criminal with your insider trading
yeah.
bullshit. You belong in prison, you
Mm.
fucking cunt. The thing is, like, and all these idiots at like TYT, like the Young Turks and all these other progressive. I'm doing air quotes right now in my fucking room. All these progressives who are like, you should feel bad for her husband. You shouldn't be celebrating this. It's like, no, dude, fuck
I'm
that,
not
fuck
celebrating it,
that.
but I'm laughing
No,
at it for sure.
I am. At this point, I'm like, you know what? Good. Good. I want you to feel the fear. I want you to be afraid for your life, bitch. I want you to fucking. Because, dude, if they were afraid of us, dude, you know, it's like a saying.
They
I
are
think.
afraid of us, but they just try to act like they're not because
I,
there's more of us. 100% more of
because
us. You know.
a part of me was like, oh, it's kind of fucked up that there was this thing on January 6th that happened, right, where the Capitol got stormed.
Yeah.
But a cynical part of me was like, good, good, because now you're experiencing the exact shit that you do in Latin America, in Asian countries, in Africa, where you set up coups in
Sri
their countries.
Lanka,
Yeah, it's like now,
Ukraine.
I mean Yemen, dude. All this talk about Ukraine, and I do feel bad for the women and children, of course, and
No,
all the
dude, Yemen's getting so
dude.
fucked.
Yemen's been that way, and it doesn't get
Yup.
nearly as much coverage as Ukraine,
None.
and and not to mention all the racism when you first had like all these refugees leaving Ukraine and they were welcomed with
Yeah.
open arms. But whenever it's a brown person, oh no, stay on your side, stay on your
Yep.
side. Don't go. You know what I mean? It's like that's why I'm always like it has nothing to do with illegal immigration. It's like you can let in all the illegal white people that you want. Let's be clear. It's about I don't want my country to be filled with brown people. And I wish people would just be honest. Just be honest. It's okay. It's okay. You want people from white nations coming over. It's fine. But just be honest. You know, just look me in the eyes and be like, it's because you're brown, dude. Whether you come here
Bullshit
legally,
goggles.
yeah,
It
it's
comes
a
back to my bullshit
yeah.
goggles thing. That's all we all need. Bullshit goggles.
Legally or illegally, I just don't want you over here. Just say
Yeah.
it.
Let's be real about it.
Just say it. And you know what? If they look at the Mexicans, they'll be like, well, it's because you're different. It's because you know your religion and your culture. It's like we're both Catholic, dude. We're both Christian. What are you talking about? It's like,
Yeah.
well, it's because I'm brown. It's because I'm brown. Just say it. It's okay. It's
Because
brown.
I like avocados, ain't it,
Here,
motherfucker?
here's a brownie. You and me eat a brownie. Here's some milk. Let's just cut the bullshit. Let's just be
Yeah, right?
honest. I don't know.
It's insane.
I do feel bad for Yemen and there's Somalia. It's like so many countries right now that have been war torn countries for a while. And
Ethiopia's going through a famine.
yep,
Hardcore famine.
yep. And meanwhile,
And I'm over here bitching about McDonald's. Fucking up my order.
getting a bacon biscuit meal.
Right. If they could muster the fucking intelligence to put one together. Yeah, right.
God damn.
These fuckers screw up orange juice.
This is kind of hypocritical of me. I'm like complaining about McDonald's workers fucking up my order, and I'm like a fucking like some elitist prick. Uh, it
I,
happens.
what it is, man. What it is. Human nature. Nature. It's just how we all are.
My
Just
fat
how we all
ass,
are.
my fat ass should learn how to cook more. I'm the problem.
I well no that's where I fucked up. I learned how to cook too well, and in too big portions.
Too big
But I'm
portions.
happy and fed.
Gotcha. We're at so it looks like we're around the 1 hour and 45 minute mark. Do you wanna close this out with any last
Yeah,
minute
man.
statements?
No, man. Let's just this was fun and good
This was
catching up, talking stuff like that. And hey, are you gonna delete that jumping off the cliff video because that's got more views than The other one. Did you see that? That shit's hilarious.
It does. I'm surprised. I'm like, who the fuck is watching this shit?
Well,
It's like,
I did send the link to my brother, right? And because he's big onto YouTube. I mean, the kid lives off of YouTube.
yeah,
And so when I sent him that link, he's like, "Hey, I watched that because he's like, I watched that video 5 times. He's like, I don't get what's funny about it. And why he says that is because me and him go back and forth, always sending each other, funny shit,
yeah.
whether it be on YouTube and Instagram. So he's like, I didn't get it, and because this was that was the last thing I sent him because like 2 or 3 more things I sent him beforehand were all just like shit gags or whatever. And I'm like, oh, I said that's the
Just my boy.
the account, yeah, the account that my buddy Danny's gonna put the podcast on and stuff like that. And he's like, well, but why is he jumping off, or who's the guy jumping off the cliff, and who's that guy? And I'm like, all right, so here comes the questions, and then he wasn't the only one. Other people were asking me questions too. They're like, hey, who's that guy? And I'm like, all right, so I'm like, I gotta talk to Danny and
I
tell
gotta
him
take
like,
it down.
can we get that video now?
Yeah.
Can we
No,
get
yeah.
that down?
It was just that was just me going like, okay, how do you upload a video? And then I'm like,
No, but that's the thing. I knew that.
yeah,
I knew that, but they didn't. So it's like, again, going through the whole explanation. It's just a test video. Oh, well, but why didn't you put a podcast up there? I thought this was a podcast. And I'm like, all right.
it's
I'm gonna get.
definitely
It's
it's
on my
like
notes. Talk to Nanny.
it's definitely confusing as fuck. It's like, what the fuck is
Yeah,
this? No,
yeah.
uh,
And then I already heard. I already heard them. She's like, my one friend. She's like, is it Call Beans? I said Call Beans. Cool Beans. She's like, oh. She's like, okay.
oh, the
I'm like, all
spelling
right.
of it.
Yeah, it was like Call Beans.
It's like cool
I could
beans,
see that.
cool beans. Yeah, cause everything else was taken. Like EWL is taken.
What about that? What about KU with with those 2 dots on top of it, like Motorhead? Have Motorhead and it's got the 2 dots on top. Do Cool Beans KUWL, and you just have those 2 dots over the U.
I checked
Pretty nifty.
I checked a bunch of them. Like I think most people they get it. Like after a while, they're just like, cause that's how I always spelled it. Like whenever I would talk to my friends, I would be like KAW cool beans or cool beaners. I used to say
Mm-hmm,
cool
mm-hmm.
beaners, and so I was like, I don't know, man. It's not a there's no proper way to spell it really, because it's not really a
Yeah,
real word. Like
it's
even like
really,
cool.
yeah,
So I was like, I don't know.
yeah.
People,
It's not even a real fucking thing. Cool Beans. Like, what the fuck are Cool Beans?
yeah, it's just an expression that people would always use with me, where it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it just means like right on. Like it's like, oh, cool
Yep.
beans.
That's our version of Right On, which I still use Right On, like a
I
like
do
a
too.
hippie.
Like a hippie that we are. But yeah, we have 13 subscribers now, so I'm like, God damn, we're getting there.
We'll get there. It's fun.
I want to get to like 50 and then 100. Like definitely like my goal is definitely get 100. And I think if I really harass everybody that I know I can get 100. Um
Yeah.
and then especially once we start like uploading more podcasts, like obviously this recording we're doing right now is going to be an episode. And I counted, I think we got 9 of the lost episodes, I'm going to call them. We have
Okay.
9 of them. So it's like a good number, a good chunk, so that people can like binge, you know?
Yeah.
And they're good, dude. And they're better, dude. The first one we did that I uploaded on their YouTube channel, the only one we have on there, that one
Yeah.
was good, and it wasn't one of our best. The other ones are better. They're even better.
Really.
And even that
I'm
one,
pretty excited to hear those.
yeah, cause,
Pretty excited to hear those.
'cause like just like you, like I forgot too, man. Like I forgot some of the conversations we had. I'm like, man, this is pretty funny.
I go back on them just so we don't double talk about the same subject,
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's gonna
right?
happen though. Even when I listen to like Rogan, I used to listen to him more. I don't anymore, but when I used to listen to him or and all the other podcasters, like
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. They all like overlap and
They
talk
repeat
about this.
themselves.
Yeah, a lot. It's just kind of like there's no way around it really.
Yeah.
It's just like having that conversation in real life. Like there's times where I'm like,
Well,
oh, didn't we talk
yeah.
about this already?
Well, there's only so many times I can, remember talk about Nazis and NASA. So
Yeah, we're smoking green trees here and everything. Did I tell you that I don't
right.
smoke? That I don't smoke anymore? Kind of
You
quit.
smoke the wax, right?
No, not even that. Like I kind of like really like I don't really even consider myself part of the culture Because I really don't, dude. It's been
Yeah,
years since I've consistently smoked. Like, it'll be like I'll smoke 1 month, and then I'll go an entire year, and I'll be like, damn, I only smoked one time a year this year.
that's just because you're getting older, man. It's because you're gonna be 40 in 2 years. That's why.
It could be, not to mention, like, when you smoke so much fucking weed, as much as I have,
Yeah,
after a while, it does lose its appeal. And I'm just like, I'm just doing the same shit. I'm getting high, I'm eating, and then I'm watching like a alien documentary. And after a while,
yeah.
it does get repetitive. It's just like anything
Well,
else.
that yeah, that can for sure. But I mean, for sure, everyone's different about it because I smoke and I do everything. I don't
Yeah,
just watch TV. I do everything,
but
painting, all that shit. So
I'm definitely not one of these Nazis though. That's like I keep using the word Nazi and shit, but I'm definitely not one of these fucking lames. That's like, stop smoking weed and all of a sudden I start criticizing everybody. Like you should stop smoking weed too. It's like
yeah,
no, dude. It's like everybody stops when they feel like they need to, or just keep going. It just depends on how everybody uses it. Like for me that journey has ended. For sure. Not saying I'll never ever smoke a joint ever for the rest of my life. I'm sure there'll be like 1 year where like maybe I'm 45 and I'm like, you know what? It's just there's nothing to do. Everything's,
you change.
you know,
You changed. That's it. It's
yeah.
the last podcast I'm doing with you.
Dude, I've talked to those. I've had like all my like 99.9% of my weed friends, they all
Yeah,
stopped talking to me. It's like, you don't smoke weed anymore, dude? Dude, what the fuck? I'm like, really? Really? Is that what was holding this relationship
yeah,
together?
yeah. That was
Is
holding. That was
weed?
holding it the whole time with weed.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's pretty weak.
Oh my god. But anyways, yeah, I'll take down the video. I'll go harass some people, try to get us
Uh,
to like the 50 mark and then the 100 mark, and yeah, man, we're doing good. I'm gonna edit this bad boy. I'm curious to see what animation background I'm gonna pick, cause right now I'm just gonna do, cause I did notice that like cause I used to listen to the Baited podcast with like Keemstar and all those dudes, and like their first couple of podcasts they just had an animation background. They even like duplicated it. They would just use the same one, but I'm
yeah,
gonna do a different one that reflects the topic, like what we talked about on the podcast. That's what the little beans, the
yeah.
little animation is gonna be like. And then I gotta talk to Roger. I don't know if he changed his mind if he doesn't want to do it anymore, but I'll see what's up. If we have to find somebody else, it's not gonna be hard. There's a couple people who are interested, but
Right on.
for sure, I'm gonna pick a Mexican just because that's the theme. Three beans, cool beans. Not trying to
Yeah.
be racist. I swear. I swear
I
to
mean,
God.
well, it came off that way. I didn't want to throw that word out because you already said, that word loses all meaning. You keep throwing it out, but
Because originally I was also thinking like the Three Amigos, like something like that. But
oh man, that movie is on HBO Max. Have
is
you
it
seen
really?
it?
No.
Yes. Oh my fucking god! It's what? Guess who the three amigos are?
Some white
Steve
dudes.
Martin, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Chevy Chase.
Let me look
Three of
it
the
up.
fucking whitest guys in comedy, and that movie is so fucking hilarious. I recommend it. I haven't seen that movie in so long.
I'm seeing it now. All right, I'm gonna
Check it out.
definitely put this shit at the top of my list of things to do here.
And it just goes to show that anybody can be a beaner.
Yeah, just wear a Mexican sombrero, do some mariachi. You're in.
Ride a horse,
Eat some beans.
have a taco at least once a week.
Do
You're
a
you're in.
do a line of. Oh, never mind. All right, brother. Well, fucking this is it. You've been listening. Thank you all our listeners. You've been listening to the Cool Beans podcast. That's Kawl. That's the way I choose to spell it. If you don't like it,
Yeah,
suck
that's
a
his
dick.
choice. There you go.
My body, my choice. My podcast, my fucking choice.
Sorry, mom. Sorry, Dad.
All right, man. I'll see you in the next one. Peace and love to all the aliens and all the people on this planet.
Later.
Boy.